Hi there. Hi. Oh, hi, Michelle. Nice to see you. Wow, you're going to be on a cruise on August 29th. Oh my gosh, 7 more days. I'm excited for you. Hi, Carol from St. Catharines. As you come in, please let me know where you are watching from. So if you're in Canada, if you're in the United States, what state you're in, please let me know. And of course, if you're from Australia, if you're from England, I see Barry mentioned that he can't join today, but thank you for the message. Steve from California. That is so cool. I have to say that was actually a state we were going to go to in 2020. We were going to be leaving on our Alaskan cruise from LA so that we could spend a couple days in LA because we really wanted to see it. So that'll have to be another year. And Michelle, it's raining in Brooklyn. Funny thing is that oftentimes our weather in New York and in Montreal, where I live, are very similar. So usually, especially maybe in the Adirondacks area, like generally Lake George. So I'm always surprised when I hear the weather is quite different in New York. It's super sunny, hot here in Montreal, like one of our hottest days. And humid. Hi, Ellen from Massachusetts. From Ireland, Elena. Hello. Hi, Lucilla. I hope that I catch everybody. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see you. So I have a few things that I wrote down that I could talk about today, but I'm definitely open to talking about all of your questions. And I have a little bit of a surprise announcement to make. So I think that you guys are going to be happy that we will be having a guest in the future coming up in September. And I'm looking forward to kind of having some guests and chatting about things that are interesting to you. So I'll tell you about our guest coming up soon. Hey, Paul from Halifax. Nice to see you. Bonnie from Florida. I don't remember if I said hello to Deborah. Hi, Mary. And Kathy from Rhode Island. Ooh, you're waiting for a hurricane affecting Long Island. That does not sound good. Actually, that was one of the things that I thought that I would talk about for some people that are thinking of cruising, whether it's this year during hurricane season or next year. Just a few things kind of to expect during hurricane season, possibly. Hi, Laura from Michigan. You know what, Laura, that's, I'm going to actually put your comment up here for 2 seconds. Did it get it? Let's see. No. Hi from Torquay, England. Yeah, thank you very much, Laura. I don't know about that. That is such a good question. I have not actually heard any rumblings about that. So I think we all have these fears now because of the last 18 months that we've lived, but I haven't heard this. So I think that this is good. Nowhere. I have not seen this anywhere. I don't know how to get rid of this now. And I apologize. I'm learning a lot about how to do the live stream stuff. So thank you very much for your patience with me, everybody, as well. Hi, Ida from Oklahoma. Hi, Suzette from New Orleans. Hi, Jessie Bean. I like your name. Janet. And, Connecticut is stormy. Okay, so it's such a funny time of year, even to cruise, because I know so many people are anxious to get back to cruising. I really am myself as soon as I can. I'll explain that in a minute. But it is hurricane season. So I know hurricane season's from June to November, but typically the times where cruises are most affected are usually between mid-August and sort of October. So I always think of it that way, but it's true. So has anybody gone on a cruise other than this year during hurricane season, and whether you've had your cruise affected or not? Hi, Sherry from California. Oh, thank you, Janet. That's super kind of you. So I went on my first cruise actually during hurricane season, and it's a little bit of a funny story. So I learned how hurricane season works, how cruising during hurricane season works. So when we went on our first cruise, and it was on the Navigator of the Seas on Royal Caribbean, and our travel agent had explained to us, we booked for September 4th. So our travel agent did explain to us that if there was a hurricane that did affect the cruise, we would simply be rerouted. So if we were doing Western Caribbean, we would maybe get a different itinerary. We'd go to the Eastern Caribbean, and it was our first cruise in any of the Caribbean. Sounded great, and we knew we were really happy with the cruise ship at the time. So that was the cruise we booked. And unfortunately, as it got closer to the sailing, it was just the year of the hurricane in 2004. There was just hurricane after hurricane after hurricane. And our cruise in the end ended up being delayed by 2 days. So I never really heard of this happening at the time. Of course, it does happen. But so our cruise, instead of leaving on September 4th, actually left on September 6th. And because there was a hurricane hovering over Miami and they couldn't get into Miami on time. I'm just going to look at some of the comments. Oh, thank you so much. I'm seeing some of the really nice comments and I appreciate them. So we ended up not being able to fly out to get onto our cruise on the Saturday, and the cruise line Royal Caribbean delayed the cruise up until Monday. And what they did is they gave us an option of canceling our cruise, which was an option, but we really needed a vacation and we didn't want to, or going on the cruise. And we got a nice large onboard credit as a bit of an incentive. And they also gave us 50% off a future cruise. I know they don't always do that, but it was such a nice compensation. And then about 11 months later, we brought our kids back to cruise and we were absolutely hooked on cruising after that. But we did learn that cruises can be shortened and itineraries can change. So we started off understanding that you have to have a bit of flexibility when it comes to cruising. Oh, I see that, Jeffrey, you were affected by the Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Oh my gosh, I was watching that. I remember at the time just on the TV feeling just so awful for the people in New Orleans that were affected. What an awful time. Oh, I see also some other people are also affected by the hurricanes in the past. Bertino, you are going on your first cruise. That is amazing. I have to say, I don't think this is the easiest time to start your first cruise. I think it's great because people are having an amazing cruise. But if you're cruising now, you are absolutely a future cruise addict. Absolutely. Because I think a lot of times the people that are really cruising now are people that are already very, they already know how amazing cruising is. Oh, Lucilla. So Lucilla, you were on a cruise in July a couple of years ago and your itinerary was changed, kept out of harm, received cruise credits. That's good. And that is good. I always think also that if the cruise ship cannot go to a port, I never complain about that. I might be disappointed, but I always know it's for safety. And I never want a cruise ship to go into, into a storm to get us, into a cruise port. So that's absolutely. Ah, Mary Jane, you actually had rolly seas. Ugh, yes, that could happen. Just looking at some of the comments, I really love these chats. Ah, wow, you have a first cruise with Norwegian. That's amazing. Norwegian's a really interesting cruise line. I really think that they did such a good job over the last 10 years or so, really carving out their own niche and even like having other cruise lines follow. Like that idea of freestyle cruising, that really came from Norwegian, and the idea of being a little bit less rigid with the dining and stuff, and even with clothing, and things have actually kind of followed with a lot of the other cruise lines. So that is really innovative of them. And I think you'll enjoy your Norwegian cruise. Hello, Kelly. Now, if I am not saying hi specifically to certain names, it's just because I can't see everybody's comment all at once, but I will look through everybody's after. So I definitely appreciate it. Oh, I have to say thank you very much, Jeffrey, for starting off the comment with the word question in caps. That definitely helps for me to notice that it's a question. Will you start a subscriber perk on YouTube or Patreon? I don't know. I don't think so. I was actually talking about that with my husband the other day. So I think it's great that channels are doing it, but I don't know what I would do that would be extra. I guess I'm just learning as I go. So maybe in the future, but I want to try to give as much value as I can in the 2 videos that I do a week. I also have my Facebook group and my Facebook page that I kind of try to do fun stuff. I have my newsletters that I put up twice a week. You're welcome to join my mailing list. I'll put it in the description below after for anybody who wants to. So I give out like some extra tips in that. But I don't know. I don't know what I would do extra on Patreon that would be interesting to you. But let me know. I'm definitely open to it. Carol, you're on Oasis September 26th. That is really good. I don't think I'll be on the Oasis September 26th. So maybe, and I will answer other people's comments too. So maybe I'll explain this now. So because I'm coming from Canada and I was relying on the land border opening to be able to drive over to New Jersey for that cruise, the land border will not open into the United States for Canadians until at least September 21st. And there's no guarantee that it will open even at that point. So I think probably I am going to reschedule my cruise. Maybe I'll reschedule it till October or November. I'm not sure. We do have plans actually for around December, January, cruising out of Florida. So I probably will try to cruise really from the New York, New Jersey area in, maybe October or November. But I'm keeping, I think, the September 26th cruise for another few days, I think, because I want to hear a little bit more, maybe if, the US government or whatever does share some of that information to see. There's also another thing. Canadians, if you're in the group, let me know. I am going to also talk about insurance for Canadians, just briefly, because I'm not, everybody should look for themselves, check your own insurance company, really work with your own travel agent about your specific situation. But Canada right now has cruise travel on a list of basically non-essential travel. It's not recommended. And if Canada has cruising on a list of not recommended travel, there are insurance companies that are not insuring you should you get sick on a cruise. And I'm not willing to travel without medical travel insurance. I absolutely won't do it. So I'll travel without cancellation insurance because I figure it's really just money. Like if I have to fly back, that might be something that I would do. I usually do take interruption insurance at least, but medical travel insurance, when you're Canadian traveling into the United States or anywhere else, it's for me an absolute no-brainer to not do it. Obviously make your own decision, but I feel like that's just smart. We should be careful with that. Yes, Jeffrey, look me up on Facebook. It's Lifewell Cruise, and I also have the community group, and I'll probably be adding a few more things into the Facebook community group for people. So I'd love to hear even suggestions. Oh, Princess Sharon, Princess canceled your Hawaii cruise at the beginning of the pandemic. They gave you 225%. I know they don't do it anymore, but I have to say early on, those additional onboard credits, future cruise credits, I should say, from Princess in particular, were so good. But even the other cruise lines, that was really smart people who did take it. I have to say, you know what I did, and maybe I kind of regret it, is I actually canceled my Alaska cruise a few days before it was canceled by Princess last year. I think I canceled March 10th, and then March 13th was when they actually canceled. And I did that because I saw the writing on the wall that we wouldn't be able to kind of go. So I just wanted to kind of get my money back. It still did take me, I think, 110 days. It didn't help at all. And I kind of wish I did take that future cruise credit. That was smart. Oh, good. Canadians in the house. All right. But I love you no matter where you're from. Now, I did see Michelle, question. Thank you. Have you ever cruised to Australia or New Zealand? Sorry, if not, does it interest you? And thank you for the nice compliment that you enjoy my content. I really appreciate that. That is so sweet. I haven't cruised yet to Australia and New Zealand, but I have to tell you, my husband, Frank, his dream, like his sort of, I hate to say bucket list because I don't want to die, but his dream place that he wants to go to is actually Australia. He told me that when we were first dating. And so I definitely want to do an Australia, New Zealand cruise, maybe have a few extra days to really travel a little bit more. So I'm open for suggestions. And right now, I think I'm going to be looking at like a 5-year plan for a combination of like Caribbean cruises and Bermuda cruises. Those are my like easy ones, and some dream wish list cruises. Tell me, out of curiosity, and I'm going to look at some of the questions. Oh, good questions. Does anybody else feel that way about bucket list, or do we like the word bucket list? I feel like there's got to be a better way, because I think we should all live a long time and just cruise and travel while we can. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Let's see. I'm going to go back. Will my son still cruise with us, or is it just Frank and I from Beverly? So that's a good question. So my son, Ethan, I think will still cruise with us most of the time, not every time. He wasn't actually going to be coming on the cruise on September 26th on the Oasis, and that is because he'll be in university at that time. And he really, I don't think it's smart for him in his first year of university to actually be taking time off to cruise. So while I did kind of pull them out of school sometimes when they were young, if I could, I don't think it's smart for him to do in his first year of university. So, but when we cruise like at New Year's and that kind of thing, then he'll come, and he loves to travel. So he will. Actually, maybe you guys can let me know. I was thinking with my son, Ethan, he's now 21. He just turned 21 July 31st, but something we were thinking of was to do a video about what there is for young people to do on cruises, like maybe even for teenagers or young adults that are like 18 to 21, because I think he's really been cruising for a long time. He loves it. He has cruise lines he absolutely loves that wouldn't necessarily be super expected. They're not necessarily like the family cruise lines. So let me know if that would be interesting to you. Even if you're watching this in the replay, also let me know, replay, and let me know if you'd like to see that. I'm trying to go through the different comments. I'll be on my first cruise to the Greek Isles next July. I'd love to see more content on clothing choices, especially in hot weather. I have a lot of tips about cruising in the Mediterranean, and I wish I was doing that. That was like my favorite cruise in the Greek Isles. So that's a great idea for future content. I'll definitely do that. Hi, California, Linda. Hello, I love your name. Let's see. Question. Does it take longer to disembark from a trans-Pacific cruise? I don't know. I feel like it takes long to disembark from any cruise potentially, because you never know when you're getting off the ship and there's customs. You just never know how long it's going to take. Sometimes we've been in the Caribbean and it's been delayed. Like usually we're off by around 8:30. And we've seen cruising that hasn't like let everybody off until about 9:30. So you kind of never know. But does anybody else have an answer for this? So Vera is asking for disembarking on a trans-Pacific cruise. So if you have the answer, please say it in the comments. Hi there. I'm seeing a lot of nice comments. Oh, that's great, Steve, to hear that the Disney cruise was great with your grandkids. I would think so. And if you've cruised with your kids or your grandkids, maybe you can let me know, what do you think is like the best cruise line or just an all around really good experience? Oh, I should show you guys, because I did kind of say something about what drink that I was having. So I did make, actually tell me if you think this is like, tell me you're a cruiser without telling me you're a cruiser. This is actually a Royal Caribbean glass that I have, I think, for about 10 years in my cupboard, because at one point they were like selling souvenir glasses if you bought like drinks. And I actually have some plastic ones, but this is actually a glass one that still works. So this is my Easy Paloma. So, and it's, excuse me, not a real Paloma. It's made with Fresca grapefruit, some coconut rum, and a little bit of grapefruit juice. Oh, thank you so much. Beverly is reminding us, and I didn't even say it. I forget. Please do hit that like button, the thumbs up. I so appreciate it. It's really helpful. It actually shares, like everybody always says, but it really does when people hit the like button or even watch a video through for a long enough time. It actually really does help the channel. So whether it's my channel or somebody else's, if you do like the content, for sure, please do give the video a like and watch the video through if you can, when you can. Let's see. Jeffrey, on Princess Cruises, what do I recommend for formal night? Dress shirt, tie, no jacket and tie. I think it depends on the cruise. I know some people, I find that on Princess, a lot of people do dress the men in a suit. I've seen sometimes for formal night that some men are wearing tuxes, but I find it's less common than before. But I've also seen, and I've been with people who will not bring a suit even on a Princess cruise, and they've been absolutely fine. Like a dress shirt and dress pants for formal nights. Like I think that's kind of the minimum that you could wear on a formal night. My husband usually wears a suit on formal night. And the other nights, honestly, khakis for men, a polo shirt, even jeans with kind of a polo shirt or short sleeve nice shirt is fine. You're actually allowed to wear jeans on Princess Cruises. Most of the cruise lines on casual nights or smart casual will allow jeans as long as they have no holes and they're dark and they're sort of nice looking. I think of it as like restaurant attire at home, but I think it does depend on your itinerary and what people from that location are used to wearing. I think that people that are in Britain might dress a little bit more smart, I think it's called. Thank you. That's a good tip. Thank you. Oh, Jack, that's great to hear. You're having champagne. Oh, from a Princess Cruises flute. Very nice. I was actually thinking you were on a Princess Cruise, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing on a cruise watching this? So, but that's nice. You're like almost on a cruise this way. Oh, this is a good question. Okay, packing cubes. I actually have it on my list. I created like a list of questions and things to talk about. Okay, so let Jessie please know if you are a fan of packing cubes, like yes for packing cubes, no for packing cubes. So no, I don't think actually that you need packing cubes. So I should say right away that you don't need to bring packing cubes, Jessie Bean. So if your husband doesn't want to bring them, you don't need them. What I do think that they really help with is organization. So I find like now I'll use a packing cube when I go in the day before my cruise. I can keep my day before my cruise clothing in a separate packing cube. So it just makes things so much easier. You can keep your sleepwear in a packing cube. It's not like, you go into your suitcase, you're like, where did I put this again? Now you can have your t-shirts together, your pants together, your shorts together, outfits together if you like. So I find it's really an organizational tool. So for me, that is really the very best thing. And even my son who went to Toronto this weekend with some friends, he brought like his packing cubes, just a couple of them. He was like, I'm going to put my toiletries in one little packing cube. He used an accessory bag as well. And then he put some other clothes into packing cubes, even if it was a small carry-on bag, just makes things easier. So I think that that's the biggest reasons. A lot of people like packing cubes. I see in the comments. I have not used compression packing cubes. So I might buy some and test them out. I might do like a video about compression cubes versus regular packing cubes. I don't know what I'm going to like better. Compression packing cubes really squish the items. So if you are looking for the most space saving, then compression cubes, I think, are probably what you want. I don't like too heavy luggage. So for me, packing cubes kind of work, but maybe the compression cubes. Oh, good. So glad that was helpful. And thank you so much, everybody. Lots of great comments. I'm just looking through the comments, so I apologize that I'm looking. Suzette, that sounds fabulous. Pretending you're on a cruise ship. Does anybody else do that? Like right now, if you're not on a cruise, anybody else trying to like live their best life in their backyard? That's kind of been me this entire summer. I'm just happy that we have a pool. And what I had my husband do is he would always heat it to the point that it was in Fahrenheit. It was always like 84. He would say it was 88, but it wasn't 88. So it was like 82, 84. And then this year I said, like, it has to be over 90 so I can feel like I'm at a resort. And it's actually been, I think it was like 96 yesterday, just because it was crazy. It got so hot that we went in the pool last night after dinner at around 9 o'clock at night. So, but it's been kind of nice. Great. Have you done a video on cruise vacation documents? I'm all about organization. No, I haven't done that. That's a good idea about cruise vacation documents. I do actually have a cruise travel planner. I mentioned it, I think, in my video about cruise packing mistakes. I'll actually put it in the description below later on. And in the cruise travel planner, you do have like a place where you have like the list of the vacation documents, the cruise documents that you should bring with you. And you have like a place to track your reservation number for your cruise, to track your hotel reservation, shore excursions, all that kind of stuff, even like a pre-embarkation checklist, a before you go on a cruise checklist of like even what you should do at home. So I have all of that there, but I can definitely do a video about that. That's a great idea. So definitely a good future idea. Thank you. I really appreciate any video suggestions. So keep them coming, and I will definitely look at these comments later if I didn't see them. Oh, that is a really good question, Anu. No, I've never actually seen luggage stands in in the stateroom for cruises. I don't even know, have I seen them in hotels? Maybe they have them in the suites, but usually it's just closets. So I haven't actually seen that. And just a little tip for luggage for anybody who's new to cruising is after you empty out all of your luggage, what you'll want to do is put your luggage under your bed. And you can also ask your cabin attendant to do that, and they will help you with that, but you get it right out of the way. I see some people are telling me that they are pretending they're on a cruise often. Yeah. Oh, Helena, you're booked on the Celebrity Silhouette in May, June 2022 to Northern Europe. I think there'll be other teens on board. First of all, I think he's going to love Celebrity. My son, it's funny, whenever people ask, like on Facebook, sometimes people say, you know, I have teenagers and I'm thinking of doing Celebrity. What do you think? And then sometimes people in the comments will say, no, it has to be Royal Caribbean. But I don't think so. You know your own son, though. But I think that he'll have a really good time. Whether there'll be teens on board in May, hard to say. June, I think more likely. But there probably will be a few. We've actually been on sort of off-season cruises, and there were always a few young people, not many. I would say during school break is your best time to make sure that there will be actually kids or teens on board. But he'll probably meet a few. A suggestion is going on Cruise Critic where there are roll calls. And then what you could do is in the roll call, you could look for your specific cruise. And then you can see like people will say like, hi, you know, like we're like husband, wife, as an example, we're sailing with 2 kids, 13 and 15. So you can get an idea who else is on the cruise. Of course, it doesn't give you everybody, but that can give you a good idea to connect with people ahead of time. I'm just looking. Do I usually get a drink package on a cruise? In the past, I didn't because it was really new to me, the drink packages. It's only really the last 3-4 years that drink packages are popular. I did get the perks, though. I have the perks in the past on Norwegian Cruise Line where you kind of pay extra and then you got the beverage package perk. So I definitely think that was good. And I've also had the perks on Celebrity. I really like that. On Princess, I do get like a mini bar setup. So in the past, it wasn't something I would have done at full price, but I do have a Princess cruise booked and I did book it with Princess Plus, which includes the beverage package. I think it's an amazing value. So I definitely recommend it. Oh, awesome. Yes, I agree. Honestly, luggage tag holders, I don't know why. For years, I didn't do it. And I was always stapling and taping. And I know a lot of people have these tips about laminating. But by the time you get through the cost of laminating them and the time, I feel like the luggage tag holders are just a no-brainer. Oh, thank you for the nice comments. Now, let me see if I've missed anybody. I'm going to just scroll through because especially if people started off with a question, I want to make sure that I do catch that. And as I'm looking through, I'm definitely seeing a lot of people are loving the compression packing cubes. Frank's got some good fashion advice. Thank you, Frank. Not my Frank, another Frank. Ooh, awesome. An Alaska cruise. I have to say, I kind of regret not booking an Alaska cruise this year because I think that those have been some of the most consistent cruises. The rules are just everybody's vaccinated. Like the rules haven't changed much on Alaska cruises. Everybody seems to be just having a great time. Really, really good. I think everybody's having a great time on all of the cruises. I've really heard a lot of great things, but I just find it's very consistent. I think I should have booked an Alaskan cruise this year. Anyway. Oh, and I just scrolled through quickly. Comments. Ida says, I sometimes make a bucket list for just a timeline, but I also teach about being a bucket list filler, being positive into someone's life. A bucket is a positive. You know what? Actually, you're right. And I don't know if I mentioned that my regular full-time job is actually I'm an early childhood educator. So I know the filling the bucket thing. And I've often talked to my 5-year-old groups about that and filling people's buckets. So you are right, Ida. I should think about it differently. Good point. I think I might actually think about it differently now. Are they doing vaccine boosters in Canada? Maybe, not yet. Let's see. Yeah, you know what, Carol, that's such a good point. I was having a conversation with somebody about that the other day. If you're sailing with Princess, then just so people know, if you're a platinum cruiser or an elite cruiser, Princess has done away with the free minutes. I think it was like 150 minutes to 250 minutes or more for elite passengers that you got of internet. So for a lot of people, if you didn't use the internet very much, that was really sufficient and that was good. But now that they have their medallionet, they've completely done away with those free minutes, but they have given other things instead. So one of the things that they have given is they've given a 10% shore excursion, 10% discount on shore excursions. I don't remember if that's for platinum and elite or just elite. They have some photo package discounts, so that they've done it instead. And they do have a discount. I think it's 50% off on the medallionet package if you get the medallionet. You do still, as an elite passenger, still get the free minibar. But I kind of agree. I feel like the value of the Princess Plus, even for elite or platinum passengers, is kind of there now. Obviously, depends on you, depends how much you drink. So you have to calculate it for yourself. Ken. Okay, I appreciate the question. You are booked on the Celebrity Equinox back to back. Thoughts on doing the premium package? Okay, so I like this question. It depends on you. So I'm assuming that you are doing the regular Celebrity, which includes the Wi-Fi. Let me know if you're not. Which includes the Wi-Fi, the classic beverage package, and what does it include again? The gratuities. Because otherwise you can go up to, I don't remember if it's called the Elevate package now, but the next step up is you can get the premium beverage package, and I think you get something else as well. I can't remember if it's shore excursion credits. It might be that. So do you want to do that? I think you have to calculate the value for you, and if you're going to be doing these shore excursions. But what you can do, if you have the classic beverage package, what you can do is you can actually just pay the difference in price between the classic and the premium. So like when I was on Celebrity in the past, I had the classic beverage package, and I did like martinis sometimes, but maybe I'd have 1 to 2 martinis a day, and I didn't have it every day. So then I think the price difference was $3 or $4, and I just paid that difference. I don't drink very much Evian or Pellegrino, so I didn't need to have that with my dinner. Like the regular water bottles were fine. So I didn't feel like I needed to have that. And I love the coffee, and the coffee was included. So I didn't need to upgrade to the premium. But I have a friend who loves having Pellegrino with dinner, who loves the additional choices of wine. I found the choices of wine fine for my taste, and she upgraded. So I think it does depend on what you like. Oh, Laura, you like that carry-on bag? I love that carry-on bag. I just find it so cute. I have to say, there have been some suggestions from people regarding the carry-on bag. If you don't know which carry-on bag I'm talking about, in my video about 30 new Amazon Cruise Essentials, I'll also link that in the description below after the video is finished. I did show a new carry-on bag that I got and that I really like. It's nautical stripe. It's quite cute. But there are 2 versions of it. And one of them actually has a bottom where you can actually put your shoes and it zips separately. So that's interesting too. I didn't actually get that one, but I'm thinking I might get it. I don't really need 2 bags, so maybe I won't. But I'm going to think about it now. Can anybody answer this question for Jeffrey? I know we have a lot of Princess Cruisers, so I don't know about the casino points. I don't actually play in the casino. Not against it. I'm just, I don't know. I feel like I might just lose money, and that's not fun for me. Yeah, Gail, that's the thing, for us Canadians. Like, and I don't know if anybody is able to get travel insurance. If you're Canadian, please let me know in the comments. I think we have to share this information because I know there are some Canadians cruising, but I haven't seen also, like I looked at, I think it was Manulife and Alliance or Alliance, and I saw that they were not covering on cruises. So that is not good. What river cruises would I recommend for first-time cruisers? I don't know, because I haven't gone on a river cruise. However, Uniworld is really good if you like something a little more refined. Viking, I think, might be a really good bet that I think people just love it across the board. But I'm not a river cruise expert because I haven't actually looked into it so much for myself. But definitely watch some of the videos from Gary from Tips for Travelers, from Emma Cruises. And there are a few other people as well that have done those river cruises. And then you'll get a good sense of what you like. If you like a more sort of refined experience, you might really love Uniworld. You might love Amma Waterways. That one really does appeal to me. They've got an interesting family story. I really like that one. I might cruise with Amma in the future. So sorry I couldn't be more helpful. So there were no dumb questions. If you forget toothbrush and paste, I don't think that they provide it complimentary, but you can buy it in the shop. If anybody has gotten it complimentary, please let us know. Maybe if you're in a suite, but if you're in a regular cabin, I don't think so. I've never seen it. Do I know if cruise line insurance covers issues with COVID? So most cruise lines, and definitely make sure that you are checking with your own cruise line. Most cruise lines are covering if you should get COVID on the cruise ship. They're really being very good in taking care of you. And Royal Caribbean in particular, I've seen some details about this where they've actually flown people back home in like private jets and stuff. They've been really good. But I think all the cruise lines are covering things on the cruise ship. But, you know, we have to get to the cruise port, and, you know, we have to think about like what happens along the way, you know, if you're off the cruise ship and then if you're flying home, if something happens. So just make sure. But I think that there are some insurance that do cover cruise travel, but it depends what country you're in. So make sure that you check for yourself. Hello from the UK. Hi, Sharon. There is the answer. No, toothpaste and toothbrushes are expensive. On a cruise, I really find, like, I know I talk about traveling with almost a kitchen, you know, everything but the kitchen sink, but I just find you have to bring your stuff with you on a cruise. Sometimes it's even happened to us that we've needed something and the shop is closed, or something else. I don't know if anybody's found that, but certain products are not offered in the shop. Like, so you're really limited. So, and if it's anything that you need, like any kind of medicine things, oftentimes that's not available other than just pain reliever in the convenience store. So you really want to bring your pharmaceutical items and your toiletries on the cruise, except for soap and shower gel and shampoo. If you're not picky about it, all the cruise lines have a pretty good quality. Personally, I bring my own, but that's myself. Sunscreen is expensive on cruises. Absolutely. Every convenience item is expensive on cruises. That's 100%. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. This is very good. Okay. Whoops. Sorry, wrong one. If I remember before getting on board, I go to Dollarama or a 7-Eleven. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, you know what I usually do? We usually go into the cruise port 1 or 2 days before, and I oftentimes do a Walmart run. I know sometimes people prefer Target. I don't know. I kind of just like Walmart's just easy for me. And I run and I get like a few little travel size containers of things, and I get a few things that I need, open up the packages, throw them into my toiletry bag. So I do a Walmart run right before, especially because I'm in Canada and some of the products are actually cheaper in the United States for me to get, or you have a few products that I don't have in Canada. Okay. I'm just going to look at some of the different questions that I have here. Okay. Some people had asked, what about post-cruise testing for Canadians, or I guess anybody that is traveling home and needs to travel with a test before flying? Some cruise lines are actually providing a test right now, a COVID test, before you fly home if you need it. Some of those cruise lines include Celebrity and Royal Caribbean. Now, anything can change, as we know, but right now they are. Princess is providing it as well. Because I just booked something on Princess, I did ask about that, and they said they're providing it as long providing there's availability. Now, I did ask what that means, and she did say, really, they are providing it. She said that's just kind of to cover themselves. So that was what they said, for whatever that's worth. Carnival's not covering it. And actually, John Heald, if you follow his Facebook page, he did mention that probably about a month ago. I saw a post about that, and it was like kind of directed at Canadian travelers. And I think from what I've heard on everything, Carnival's not covering it. I don't know if Norwegian Cruise Line is or MSC. So if anybody knows, let us know. Oh, Selena, you are going on Oasis September 26th. Selena, the only thing I would say, definitely, I mean, don't worry about the land border if you're flying in. That's obviously not a worry for you. Should you cancel or not? I think you should look into your travel insurance and see maybe by then that, you know, like if Canada lifts their advisory against cruise travel, then you're going to be covered with insurance. So I wouldn't worry about it. Otherwise, I think going without insurance is a little bit risky, but you have to kind of decide for yourself. You have a cabin above the Vista Lounge on Sky Princess. Are they noisy in the evening? That is a really good question. I haven't found Princess cabins to be noisy. I find that I don't find that I hear a lot of noise in cabins. The only place I would say is if you have a balcony cabin and you're underneath the pool deck, because then you kind of hear the shuffling of the chairs, especially in the morning time or during the day. You would hear like the music from that. But I don't think you'll hear a lot from the Vista Lounge on the Sky Princess. Now, if you are an early sleeper, then I would not get a cabin right under, because you never know, right? Like in case, but I don't find Princess to be super, super party ships. So I think that you'll be okay. Oh, let's see. I have an insurance. You have AIG insurance in the US. It covers COVID. It was half the price of the cruise line insurance. Great to know. So that's good. I think right now, us cruisers, us travelers, we really have to share our information. This might even be a thread that I'll put in my Facebook group. If you are on Facebook, please consider joining my Facebook group called Life Well Cruised Community, and we can kind of share these tips. I think we really should be sharing, because right now it's not necessarily obvious. I'm just going to look through to see if I see any other questions. This is a fun one. Will I do a dollar store haul? So I feel like you read my mind, Brian, because I have a list going of dollar store items, and I am planning on doing a dollar store cruise haul. I literally have a list on my phone, and as I think of things, I am writing them down, and I'm researching all of the cool crap that you can get at the dollar store, so that we can bring this stuff on cruises. Let's see. I'm just looking for some other questions. Thank you so much, guys, for answering each other's questions. Just amazing. I really appreciate it. You are headed to Mexico, Liddell, Mexico, Jamaica, and Grand Cayman in June. Would love to know if there's anything to do in the ports. So yeah, let's talk Caribbean cruises for a few minutes. And guys, in the chat, like I can't see everybody at the same time that I'm talking, but in the chat, please give Liddell and anybody else recommendations for the best things to do, excursions in Mexico. I'm assuming it's Cozumel. I could be wrong, so let me know if it's a different port. In Jamaica, let us know if it's Ocho Rios, if it's Falmouth, or if it's Montego Bay. And Grand Cayman, that's an easy one. That's always Georgetown. So if you are in Cozumel and if you like the beach, then you can do one of the all-inclusive beach resorts kind of thing. Mr. Sancho's, I hear, is really good. I'm just really partial to Paradise Beach. I just always found that this way I could do things a la carte. I don't tend to like an all-inclusive when I got off the cruise ship, because then I feel like, do I really want to eat all I could eat during the day? I just don't. So that's for me. So I prefer kind of playing a la carte, and I like that at Paradise Beach I could go in, pay, I think it's like $3 for a chair or something. It's super inexpensive. And then they ask you to order $10 worth of food or drinks while you're there. And you get a chair, you get like the pool area, you get the whole beach area. The facilities are super clean. So we've been going there for years, and I've seen it build up over the years, and I just love it. And they now do have an all-inclusive option as well. And I just find they're reasonably priced, super clean, and the quality of food and drinks is very good. So I really like it. And you can get there on your own by taking a taxi. It's literally 10 to 15 minutes. Comes out to about $5 per person US for a taxi both ways. Super, super easy. Otherwise, the snorkeling is amazing in Cozumel. So you might want to do that if you want to do a more like adventurous excursion. Do that. Okay, great, Liddell. Thank you for telling me. It's Ocho Rios and Cozumel. Ocho Rios, Dunn's River Falls would be my recommendation, just because it's something so unique. It's so fun. I feel like it's a safe thing, but you do have to be somewhat physically fit, not overly physically fit, but like, you know, you have to know that you are going to be walking up waterfalls slowly. You kind of zigzag with a group, and bring water shoes if you do that one. Otherwise, in Ocho Rios, there's a Margaritaville within walking distance. And if you feel like just chilling, eating something different, I've done Margaritaville and really liking that as well. Oh, I agree with this recommendation from Short Attention Span. I like your name. Stingray City in Grand Cayman, so unique. We've done Stingray City 3 times. One time wasn't great, but that was a whole other thing. But we've done it twice, that it was amazing and one of the best experiences. Not scary, and I'm a super big chicken. So that was really good. You're going on the Oasis of the Seas for your 25th anniversary. You didn't see the list of events to choose proper clothing. I don't know if they give you a list. Usually, I do think it's on their website where they'll say usually they do 2 like formal nights or dress your best nights. So just consider bringing things like you can have a little black dress or a cocktail dress that's very appropriate. You can have a suit or, you know, a nice dress pants and a nice shirt for your husband. The other nights, think casual or smart casual. So things that you would wear to a restaurant. I don't know if they're having a white night party right now, but if you bring a white outfit, you're going to look fabulous anyway. So bring a white outfit and wear it otherwise on a casual night. That would be my recommendation. And oftentimes the formal nights are on day 2 and day 6, but not always. So if you follow, you know what, follow Royal Caribbean Blog. With Matt. He does a live, I think it might be every Monday night on YouTube, or maybe it's on Facebook. So definitely join Matt on a Royal Caribbean Blog and ask your questions, because he is the Royal Caribbean expert. Hope that helped a little bit. Let's see if I could find any questions. This is some good information. If on Princess they're unable to give you a test before you disembark, you can get a rapid test within 45 minutes for $179. Yeah, there's definitely places like if you can't get the test on the cruise ship, like I wouldn't overly worry. I wouldn't not book a cruise because I can't get a test. I do think, and this is something Frank and I, my husband, were talking about, we're actually probably going to stay one day after our cruises because we have to fly home or drive. And this way, what we can do is if we do need to test when we get off the cruise, like we can go then to a pharmacy or we can go to the airport and we could do it there. I don't want to be stressed. And there are so many flight delays that I just feel like I don't want to stress, and I'm just going to build it into my trip to fly home one day later. But I do think if you're flying home on the same day, book your flight towards the end of the day. Don't book a flight early if you need a test. Any recommendations for a lower price hotel the night before in Miami? Miami hotels tend to be a bit pricey. I think it does depend on the time of year and how busy it is. My best recommendation is actually to book your hotel early for a refundable rate. And this way, you know, keep monitoring the price. I think that's really the best bet. I'm trying to think. In Fort Lauderdale, it's less expensive if you're in Dania Beach, but I don't know in Miami where it's a little less expensive. I probably would fly in the day before and enjoy Miami and just find a good hotel on Collins and just enjoy and kind of chalk it up to the price of the cruise. It's not inexpensive in Miami, unfortunately. Maybe go a little further than Miami. If you don't mind being a little bit further, you could definitely find a hotel. It depends if you're going to rent a car or not. If you're not renting a car, maybe it's worth it just to stay like in Biscayne or something. Let's see. I'm just looking through to see if there's any. Oh, I like this question. Candy from Creative and Luxury Travel. Hi, Candy. So you're going on a holiday cruise in December on the Allure. Do they do special holiday things? So yes. So I love holiday cruises. When you say holiday, is it Christmas or is it the New Year? I find New Year's cruises to be just such a fun atmosphere. So I really love them. And I suggest, even though everybody's different and it's definitely not the best cruise to save money, but I do think that going on a cruise for New Year's, if you compared it to if you were at a land destination and if you were like paying for a party with food, I think that like holiday cruises or New Year's cruises could be very could be well worth it. So it's definitely a lot of fun. Yes, they do a lot of things. You'll have several parties on New Year's. So you'll have like a live band playing in one area, maybe if you're on Allure, like on the promenade or in some of the different venues. And you'll also have like a DJ in another area. Sometimes you'll have in some of the venues, they'll do like, let's say even in like a sports bar, for instance, you might have that they'll do like Happy New Year for people like in the UK that would be celebrating the New Year like early, that kind of thing. So you'll have like New Year being celebrated all over the world. So a lot of fun. And during the cruise, you'll have just sort of fun events. And usually on New Year's Eve, like I've been on Princess, and on New Year's Eve, they'll give you like a tiara for the women, like a fun New Year's one, and a top hat for men. Definitely a lot of fun. And you can buy like champagne if you want. So that's nice. Eric, you'd like a picture of the complete luggage that you take. Might stop any argument with spouse. I bring a lot. So I'm trying to work on bringing less. The next cruise that I do, I'll be very intentional and I'll show you a picture. I just figure if the worst thing that you do in life is overpack, it's, not the worst advice. Oh, awesome. You are on the Oasis, Eddie Murphy. Fun name. I'm assuming it's a screen name, but is it your real name? Because if it's your real name, that's just awesome. So you're going on the Oasis December 26th. How is the New Year celebration? I haven't been on Royal Caribbean for New Year's, but I'm assuming it's amazing because I've been on Royal Caribbean for Thanksgiving week and they just know how to throw a party. I just think Royal Caribbean is great at throwing parties and their entertainment is just incredible. So you'll have just amazing entertainment beyond just the New Year's party. I'm sure it's going to be great. Maybe consider doing a specialty restaurant though on New Year's Eve, because I do find in the main dining room on most cruise ships, it can be hectic on New Year's Eve. And I found that sometimes the staff, the waiters are a little bit overwhelmed. That's just been my experience. So I would probably do a specialty restaurant on New Year's Eve and book it early. Totally agree. They are very fun. Oh, this is a very smart idea to maybe go Airbnb. I think if you're doing like a few days, an Airbnb is actually a really good idea. I don't know if you do it only for a day. I don't know. Sometimes you have to pay a housekeeping fee. So just be careful with that. What is a white clothes night? Some of the cruise lines will have a white night, like a white party or a glow party where they suggest that people dress in white. So oftentimes I've actually seen it most on Norwegian Cruise Line, but I always bring like a white dress or a white outfit just in case, because if they do have sort of a glow party event on the deck, then it always kind of looks nice. I don't know why the cruise lines don't necessarily tell you when they're going to be doing like a 70s night or a, like a special party with kind of like dress up, which kind of would be fun. Ben, you were just on a Viking cruise yesterday. Oh, I'm so jealous. Was that the one out of Bermuda? I'm just curious. I would have loved to do that one, and I want to go on a Viking cruise. I've heard it's so good. So I'm going to end the live in just a few minutes because we're talking almost an hour. So we've been talking a long time. Oh, I forgot to announce. Oh my gosh. That I will be having, tell me who is one of your favorite cruise vloggers. Actually, tell me, and honestly, nobody is not a good cruise vlogger or cruise YouTuber, but please let me know who are some or one of your favorite cruise vloggers or YouTubers, because I'm going to have somebody on in a couple of weeks and we're going to pick their brain and ask some really good questions and get some amazing tips, including for saving money and for packing and more. I'm going to look through some of the questions and answers. So don't forget, let me know who are some of your favorite cruise YouTubers and who you would like to see for a bit of a show on my channel for live. Oh, Mary Ellen, no, I am not going to be going, I don't think, on the September 26th cruise. I might, though. I haven't canceled yet because Royal Caribbean does have Cruise with Confidence, but I might move that cruise over. It has to do really with the fact that right now I probably won't be able to get insurance from, like, in Canada, cruise travel is still on a list of not recommended travel. So I won't go anywhere without cruise travel insurance. Hey, really creative. Oh my gosh. You know, you guys, I have to say, have been putting out content consistently throughout the entire pandemic and are a very fun community. Hey there. And thank you for joining us. Oh, Tom, thank you so much. You recently found my site and love the practical info. I am so glad. I really like talking about the practical stuff because I just hope that we can all get back to cruising and traveling soon. Everybody is at their own timeline, and I think that that is okay. What advice for getting from Orlando Airport to Cape Canaveral? That is a good question. I'll have to actually look into it. In the past, I've just driven. So I haven't actually, I think that there is a train now, but I don't know if the Brightline train, does it go? If anybody knows, does that train go from Orlando? Oh no, I'm thinking wrong. I'm sorry. I'm rereading and I'm got this wrong. Orlando to Cape Canaveral. So there are actually shuttles. I know Sherry has talked about it, Sherry from Cruise Tips TV. So maybe look that up on her channel because she had a video. It might have been called Go Port Canaveral. I might be getting it wrong. But she has a very good suggestion of a company that she's used. So probably if it was me, I'd be I'd be taking a look at hers. Otherwise I drive, or I would probably rent a car and I'd be going into the hotel, like a hotel, dropping it off at the cruise port the day of the cruise. I'm just saying one of my very favorites is Gary. Absolutely. I've been watching him for years. I think he's had like his channel since 2012. He's super. Dawn, Tony, Jay, Jason, and Alyssa, and Emma. Absolutely. They're all fabulous. Emma Cruises and Lalita Loca. They are really good. They definitely make me really happy watching both of those channels. Ooh, a lot of votes for Tony. He is awesome. Him and Jenny. And I like watching their old videos too. I have to say, I watch Tony. He's like in my feed all the time. So I probably watch like 75% or more of the videos. And sometimes I don't watch everybody's videos all the time, just because if I watched people's videos all the time, I wouldn't even have time to create content and to go to my actual job. So that's why I don't watch all the time, but I definitely watch a lot. But I love Tony, and I really like even some of their older videos. They're very authentic, great people. Paro DJ, absolutely. Paro DJ, Lalita Loca, Emma, Dawn's Vacations, absolutely. Dawn, another Canadian. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Jojo Kogan Real Estate. I purchased your packing list and several items in your Amazon site. Fantabulous, helpful, thank you. Good to know you like to overpack. Always be prepared. Yes, we always have to be prepared. Maybe not overly prepared like me, but prepared. Lots of great suggestions. JJ Cruise. Yes, they are so much fun. Absolutely. So many great people. So I will tell you, so who I am having on in September, I think it's September 2nd, but watch my channel because I'll give you the exact date, is actually going to be Emma. So the first person. But now you've given me amazing people to reach out to. And I would hope that maybe I can have them on and we can have some fun stuff to chat about. Can I post the luggage tags for Princess? So I will post my Amazon store and maybe a few links, and I'll post the links for the luggage tags. What you need to just do is when you're there, you'll just actually click for Princess. There's Princess, Carnival, and Holland America are all, if I'm not mistaken, the short luggage tags, and the longer luggage tags are Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. I'm just looking through more. I love these comments because these give me great ideas for people to chat with. Sherry, Matt, oh, absolutely. Doug from Cruise Radio for sure. He's got great daily news in a quick bite. Emma, Dawn, Tony, absolutely. Oh, Danny, wasn't he so informative during the whole pandemic? I would watch him sometimes on Friday nights. He was just great, like while I would be doing other stuff. Awesome. Yes, quick like. Thank you, Beverly. Beverly's like an amazing cheerleader and reminder. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to answer this because I think it's important. Confused. I purchased travel insurance from NCL. What is cruise insurance? Okay, so this is okay. You did the right thing. You can purchase the cruise travel insurance with your cruise line. And that's similar to if you book a flight and you book the insurance through the flight. That will cover the cruise itself. So what it will not cover, unless you booked your air with them, and then you'll have to look into that, I'm not 100% sure, but what it will cover is you on your cruise, and it will cover up to a certain amount in terms of your medical coverage. So in some cases, I believe it's between $10,000 and $50,000 for your medical coverage. It may not cover your air evacuation from the ship, things like that, if you needed it. And obviously you have to look for yourself, but for me personally, I would rather buy a third-party insurance that covers a higher amount of medical care should I need it, and that covers air evacuation. But this is still good. And the nice thing about cruise travel insurance is oftentimes it does include like a cancellation insurance. But I do feel now like the majority of cruise lines are offering sort of a cruise with confidence. So I feel like the cancellation part is a little bit less important as part of this, or the cancel for any reason protection that you sometimes get with the cruise line insurance. But medical coverage, I just feel like it could actually be tens of thousands of dollars. So to me, make sure that you're covered on your medical coverage always. Maybe I'll go another 5 minutes or so. I just want to make sure that I have everybody. Thanks, Suzette, for the chat. Thank you, Jack, for the chat. Oh, that is great. I am so glad that the items have been helpful. For those that don't know, I do have an Amazon storefront. I think it's Amazon/shop/Lifewell Cruise. And you will find that I categorize different items. So I have like cruise travel items. I have just travel essentials. I have some regular everyday sort of like jewelry items, some like beauty essentials that you might want to bring on a cruise, that kind of stuff. So, oh, and some cruise wear. So that I put up as well. Cruise insurance, is it valid for Canadians? Most cruise lines have not had cruise insurance for people that live in Quebec, and that has to do, I think, more with Quebec than the cruise lines. So don't quote me on that, but yeah, you can get cruise insurance for Canadians in general. Luggage tags, do they have Oh, okay, great. Yeah, absolutely, you can find that. So thank you so much to everybody. I'm just looking through just to make sure. I'm going to actually just highlight this answer because there are shuttles from Orlando to Cape Canaveral. So I think it's important. You could probably Google them and you'll find, but I think there was one called Go Port Canaveral. It sounds familiar to me. So, okay. And I'll end off in 5 minutes. I'll just go over the cruise tipping protocols for Brent and anybody else who is interested in knowing this. So when you are on a cruise, so when you're on a cruise, the cruise line, okay, let me start again. When you're on a cruise, the cruise line will have suggested tipping guidelines for the crew. And oftentimes what they do is they will charge between $11 and $15 US per day. This is for people that are in North America. If you are somewhere else, it will be different. If you're in Australia, my understanding is they don't charge it. So it's different depending where you are. But if you're cruising from North America, this is the way it is. So they will charge you automatically an amount between $11 and about $15 to $16 per person per day. And that amount that they're charging you is actually going to be divided up by some of the crew that help you or serve you on your cruise. So that would include your cabin attendant, that would include your waiter or waiters, that includes like the maitre d', and that kind of thing. And when you do go to a bar and you buy a drink, you'll actually be charged a tip on that drink. So just something to mention, you'll still expect a tip to be charged on that. Now, Princess actually went with a different terminology now. They've changed to crew incentive. But that's basically what you would be charged. Now, in some cases, some cruise lines allow you to take this off and then this way to remove the charge, and you can pay people separately. In other cases, like with Norwegian Cruise Line, they don't call it a gratuity. I believe they call it a service charge. And if you have an issue with your service on the ship, they invite you to see guest services to talk about how they can help to make the service better. But removing that amount is not necessarily something that's done very much on Norwegian Cruise Line. I hope that helped. So you can prepay your gratuities. There's no financial benefit to prepaying your gratuities, but you will not have to worry about your gratuities on the ship. Some people do tip a little bit extra on their cruise to somebody who went out of their way, maybe your cabin attendant or a waiter. You don't have to. You don't have to feel obligated, but I'm sure it is appreciated. And you might want to have a few dollars with you handy when you get to the cruise port. The porters are going to take your luggage. It is customary to give them a few dollars when they take your luggage. So I hope that helped. Oh, I have a lot of people with suggestions of different channels. So thank you so much. So make sure that you do join. I will put in the community tab the exact date and time of my chat with Emma, and it's going to definitely be fun. I will ask you for some questions in advance because we're going to have to ask Emma some questions. I'm just going to put this up. Thank you so much. Glad that helped, Brent. So glad everybody's helping each other in the chat. So this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. It's cruise day. Absolutely. Be patient if things are going slow. Absolutely. We have to pack our patience right now. That is very well said. Good advice for medical travel travel insurance. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. And I will definitely see you in the next video. Please do give it a big thumbs up. And my next video is coming out on Thursday. See you then. Bye, everybody.